hypothesis is tested at alpha 0.05 level of significance. What is the probability of making a type 1 error? That is the one. The probability of making a type 1 error is 0.05. Not this, but this. That's exactly it. There is insufficient information to determine. Really? Thank you very much. That is it. Alpha is exactly the type 1 error.
I think we said in the other class for 1, you can always just do 1 minus alpha, right?
That is for the confidence interval. Yes. 1 minus alpha times 100%, yes, is the confidence interval. Yep. Good. Anyone else would like to choose?
13.
Identify the two types of incorrect decisions in a hypothesis test. For each incorrect decision, what symbol is used to represent the probability of making the type of error? Okay. So, a type 1 error is not accepting a true null hypothesis. So rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true. I'm not accepting it. We're not accepting anything. So accepting, don't even spend time on it. Sorry, I shouldn't even look at that. Part B, option B. A type 1 error is rejecting a true null hypothesis. So I reject the null hypothesis and it is true. And the probability is alpha. Correct. Let's check part B. Second paragraph. A type 2 error is failing to reject a false null hypothesis and the probability is beta. Yes, I have to read the other two though. A type 1 error is, no. Okay, D. A type 1 error is not rejecting a false. So we reject when it's true. That's B. So accepting, please remember that accepting is never acceptable in hypothesis testing. Okay, we either reject or fail to reject. Okay.
Uh, 17.
If we do not reject the null hypothesis, so we fail to reject the null hypothesis, is it valid to say that we accept? No. No, we have only shown that we do not have enough evidence to reject it. No, a second sample, no. So, if we do not reject the null hypothesis, is it valid to say that we accept? No, we never accept anything. We can only say that based on the sample, we reject or fail to reject. We don't accept anything. Okay, one more and then we can stop if you want to.
I don't remember if we did. Oh, you can pick one.
I was just going to say 14.
14 it is.
Really
14 it is. According to the report, the mean, so this is the key word, mean, monthly cell phone bill was 3 years ago. I think we did the similar one.
Yeah, I think we did this one.
It just gave me different numbers, I think. Because I accidentally logged myself out or something of the homework. Okay, anyone else? One more? I was just looking at number 18. Determine whether the statement is true or false. If it is false, rewrite it as a true statement. If you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can support the alternative hypothesis. I don't support anything. I don't accept anything. So I don't like all the wording that they have here, though. Choose the correct answer below. This statement is false. Ah, so this is the statement. Oh, okay. Okay. If you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can support the... Oh, okay. This statement is definitely false. A true statement is, if you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can assume the alternative hypothesis is false. What? Reject and no. This statement is false. A true statement is, if you decide to accept the null... I don't accept anything. This statement is true. If you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can support the alternative hypothesis. Somewhat with the wording that they use here, somewhat C could be okay. You just accept support. I don't like to support anything, but it's false. The true statement is, if you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can support. If you decide to accept, you can support. If you decide to reject, you can assume no. If you decide to reject the null hypothesis, then you can support the alternative hypothesis. You can't accept anything. This is false. Then you can support. I will go with this. I don't like any of the other three, of course. The first one I cannot use, definitely. Then you can support. If I reject, no. And B, if you decide to accept, no, I'm not accepting because I decided to reject. They are iffy. Be very careful. So you don't have to do the problem more than once. Although, as I mentioned, I don't really like this word here. I can say that from the sample, I reject or fail to reject. But I cannot guarantee that this is true. So I could never say, if I accept the word support, I will, if you want me to accept that support, yes, but definitely not when not writing the alternative hypothesis is true. Definitely. Support, I'm okay with it, so to speak. But saying that it's true, I'm not okay with it, because in the next sample, the result may not support the alternative hypothesis. So support, I'm okay, so to speak. But I'm not okay saying that based on this sample, the alternative hypothesis is true. I will not accept that. No. I will say, okay, the sample supports the alternative. I will swallow that. But saying that from the sample, I conclude that the alternative is true, never. Never. Because you can determine 10 samples and redo the testing, the hypothesis testing on 10 samples, but only 2 of them will have a result that fails to reject the null hypothesis. It's possible that the other 8 will fail to reject the null hypothesis. So I cannot draw the conclusion that the alternative is true. I can say the sample supports this or that. I will accept that. Everything okay?